Morning.
Morning, everybody. Are you okay?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, not bad, thank you.
Good.
Sam, where are you from?
That's a loaded question because I was born in Blackpool, but I grew up. I moved over to Canada when I was about 6. But I've lived in England a lot longer than I have in Canada. But because I spent sort of my formative years growing up there, I lost my Lancashire accent.
You look so familiar. I can't place you.
Oh, I've worked for quite a few councils. So I've worked how far back do you want to go? I worked for Preston Council for 8 years up until 2015.
Okay.
I worked on one of the HAF programs briefly for Wire and Filed. And then I also had my own company for 6 years, which is sort of within recent memory, which is a disability arts company. So I have no idea. Maybe I just have one of those faces.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm dead nosy, so.
That's okay. I've got a question for you actually about the presentation. Yes. So I've just noticed a feature on my PowerPoint that says present in Teams. So I'm going to try that.
But we're using Zoom, so.
Oh, it is. Oh, that doesn't work, does it?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you have a copy of it?
I do not. But
okay. What's your email address?
It's Michelle.Walker.
Hang on a sec. I'll just send it to you. Can you spell it out for me?
Yep, MICHELLE.
Okay, hang on. I'll forward it to you now. Okay. Michelle, yeah.
.Walker, WALKER.
Okay.
It's on that one between mine and Julie's. At Bravo Papa Romeo.
Yeah.
Charlie Victor Sierra.
Yes. Okay.
.UK.
.org.uk?
Co.uk.
.co.uk. Okay, I'm sending it over to you now because I just have a feeling that that's one thing I'm going to struggle with.
Yeah, no worries.
Michelle Walker.
I'm using Tracy's computer today, so it's me. So I will.
I think I'm just so. I also sent it to Lorna and to Sean Dodds as well. So.
Okay.
But I'm just so used to using Teams that I'd just completely forgotten that I'd logged on to a Zoom call. So completely forgot.
Morning, everyone. Michelle, are you okay? I was just going to ask, are you chairing today, or are you happy for me to chair?
Am I blinking Echo's chairing?
I just wanted to confirm.
I'm just techie bits. Tracy called it techie bits. So that's
we need techie bits.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh, well, good morning, everyone. And I've noticed a few people on this morning. We'll just wait till about maybe 1 minute past 10 to let everybody join in who needs to join in. And then we can do a welcome and a hello and a good morning. But it's a nice morning, isn't it? I love this weather.
Yeah.
It's too cold, Naveed.
It is cold, but at least it's not raining, and it makes your blood flow.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it? This weather, when you get... Say that again, sorry, Michelle.
It definitely does not make my blood flow.
Well, I'm of a certain age now, so I get too hot. So for me, it's quite good.
Makes things easier to manage, doesn't it? Because then if it's sunny like this and you're feeling a bit too overwarm, you just open if you're close to a door, and then I can just cool down now. It's good.
It's when it's raining and miserable that I actually feel miserable myself. But when the sun's shining and it's crisp, it's like wow for me.
Good, isn't it? It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did everybody have a good Christmas break? I know this is the hardest month after.
Yeah, it was busy though, because I didn't feel when I came back that it was, well, there were a few relaxing days, but it felt busier than it was relaxing. But yeah, I think yeah, good. Yeah. Did you have a break, Naveed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Council
good.
shuts down. Us council workers, we closed down.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That's
yeah, so we get over a week break.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so it was
much
nice.
needed as well, really, when it comes around, isn't it?
I think for everybody, I think it doesn't matter what role you work in. I think the run up to Christmas is always
Yeah.
nice. This is my opinion. It won't be for everyone, but everybody's so nice and humble, and morning going
Yeah.
shopping. And after Christmas and the New Year starts, everybody becomes a bit. They're walking through town, and it's like they're growling at each other. That's my experience. But yeah, so I just try and smile even more. I don't know, it
It's a good
winds people.
it's a good perspective on it.
So, Michelle, just to check with you, we've got Samantha who's already here, and we're waiting for Nazma who's going to be doing the presentation after Samantha. Good morning, everybody else who's joined us. I can't see everybody on the screen, so I have to flip through the screen. So, good morning, everyone. We'll just give it another minute before we start. But if you're speaking or you put your hand up, it's not a formal meeting. This is one of the nice meetings. It's a catch up with friends. Say who you are, which organisation you come from, and then we'll have the opportunity to do your updates. But we've got two speakers today. Samantha, who's already here, and we're waiting for Nazma, unless Nazma's already joined us. But we've got two presentations, and the aim is to finish by 11.
Yeah.
Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Brilliant.
need Nazma to send me her presentation because I don't have it. But
Okay.
she's not done yet, so I'll get it off her door.
Okay. Well, it's 10:02, so I mean I'm not the best chair. Tracy's far better and more disciplined than me, but I'll give it another minute.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah. If anyone has any questions when I'm going through mine, then just feel free just to put your hand up as we go along here. If you don't want to wait until the end, I don't mind. So,
Michelle, we have chat facilities on this as well, don't we? Yeah. Okay.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
morning.
Okay, we've got a number of people on now, so we've got a golden number. Do we want to make a start? Okay, great. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining Burnley Linked. The monthly meeting that we do for anybody who's new, because I can't see everybody on the screen. Michelle's going to be helping with regards from the CVS side, and I'm standing in for Tracy today, who's on other work priorities that she's got at the moment. And so we've got two speakers today, and we'll have the opportunity to everybody give an update regarding the work that they're doing, but we'll start off with Samantha Blackburn, if that's okay. So
Yeah.
Samantha, over to you.
Lovely.
You've got 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I think it's only about 7 actually. I timed it yesterday. I'm just waiting for Michelle's capable hands to open up, hopefully, my PowerPoint. That's great. So I can start anyway whilst we're
guys,
just sorting that out. Oh, I can't hear you. View. Let me see if I can put it up.
Sorry, I'm just going to share my screen now.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's brilliant.
She says, 1 sec.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 minute, guys. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I'll start off anyway. So I'm from Lancashire Mind. We're based physically. Our offices are in Chorley, but we work all across Lancashire. And although today I'm going to be talking about an integrated care board NHS funded project, which is looking at bringing together and building communications between clinical mental health services and VCFSE organizations. So VCFSE is Voluntary Community Faith and Social Enterprise Organization. So this is the second year that we've had the funding for this. And this year we've had the funding for Pennine, Central and West Lancashire. And last year we had it for all of Lancashire and South Cumbria. So just a bit of an overview. I was going to do this at the end, but I'll do it now because, oh, there we go. I'll do it now just whilst we're getting this sorted. So Lancashire Mind offers a whole host of different services. We have a whole host of both virtual and in-person peer support sessions that we're offering for children and young people. We present in schools. We offer up to 6 sessions, well-being sessions for adults, which are also virtual sessions. We just started a new therapeutic services offer, which is our first paid for offer, but it's half the price that people would pay for a normal cognitive behavioral therapy session by our qualified counselors. And in certain circumstances, people can have that fee waived as well, but there's just only under certain circumstances. But the 6 sessions that we offer are complimentary. We also offer a lot of training services for VCFSE organizations in mental health awareness, mental health first aid. So what I'm going to talk about today is our community mental health transformation project update. Next slide, please. Okay, so the background to the project. So last year, we've been commissioned to develop the relationship between, as I mentioned, VCFSE and clinical mental health services engaged within community mental health. And this is part of the overall NHS transformation program to transform mental health services within the community. So last year, we conducted a mapping and engagement process with both clinical and VCFSE, found out what services they offer. And within VCFSE, it could be anything from a coffee morning for new mums to that actual commission services by the NHS for crisis cafes, people who are hearing voices, all different range of services. We also had a process of asking the VCFSE organizations what challenges they're facing within the organizations and what would make them better, what would make it a lot easier or better for them to improve and to with their services and continue their services. So the findings come a bit further on. So we delivered some in-person and virtual information and networking events in Blackpool, Kirkham, Morecambe Barrow, and other locations, Central and West Lancashire. We also organized some focus groups within some of the VCFSE organizations who volunteered to take part. And we spoke to people who engage with both clinical mental health services, a whole range of different services, and also their experience of VCFSE organizations. And yeah, there's some interesting stories that came out. I'll just say that, and we do have a few of the findings from both this year and last year as well on that. So we do have a project report from last year. It's within a wider report from all of the commissioned work that took place last year, and it was put together by the charity Spring North. So there's 3 different lots of funding that were issued within the last 2 years. So the lot 1 was VCFSE training in aspects of mental health. So there's certain organizations that were commissioned according to a characteristic. So if it was age, and then like LGBT carried out one of the training. So the first year they put the training packages together and then delivered some of the training to other VCFSE and clinical staff about working with people who have a particular characteristic. And then the lot 2 is the project we're working on, is bringing both clinical and VCFSE mental health services together. And then the lot 3 was actually projects. So there were some smaller organizations, voluntary groups who got that funding to deliver the activities within the community. And both of those were just for 1 year. Next slide, please. Okay, so some of the themes that came up within our findings were that at the moment, there are some targeted referrals that take place within the police, within councils, within VCFSC to clinical teams, and within what's called primary and secondary care. But what we found is that both don't know how to find each other. So say, for example, when someone's leaving a secure mental health unit, people who we've spoken to, been in that circumstance, have said to us that it was only by luck of friends and family that they found wonderful VCFSE services that have done so much for them, that they didn't have to wait to access, that supported them when they left clinical mental health care. And the clinical staff just don't, well, they will now because we've been working on this project for 2 years, but they didn't know where to start in terms of referrals. Of course, the social prescribers, but a lot of the clinical staff just don't know where to refer people to. So the peer support is also another area where they can link in with each other. So through clinical to VCFSC organizations. What was found within this as well is that VCFSC are way more responsive and flexible in working with people. So there's not enough co-production between the two sectors, and they don't understand each other as well as they could do and what they offer. And I don't think we found that clinical mental health staff don't really understand the voluntary sector, don't understand that it's professional, and don't understand the value for money that VCFSC bring, the value they bring to local communities. And VCFSC really feel that there needs to be more mutual respect, and the activities that VCFSC offer need scaling up as well. So I'll go on to the next slide because I'm going to run out of time. Just a few more key themes that came out. So opportunities to develop and improve mental health support in the geographic areas that we work for. So there's a real feeling that people are presenting within VCFSC organization services with a higher need for their mental health, and the staff who are working within those organizations feel that they don't have the skills and the training to be able to care for these people who are coming into their settings as well as they would like to. So there was a real need for early intervention. So people who are on waiting lists, to be able to offer people who are on waiting lists for clinical mental health services to be able to get people access to VCFSC activities and services at that point, and also to have a focus on prevention to prevent people from having their mental health escalate into a crisis. There was also a real need for workforce development and mental health support for staff working with VCFSC organizations, and also more person-centered care. And just I'll pick a few more points out of this. I'm not going to read through all of them. There was also a need, and this goes across all the geographic areas that we worked within, more spaces for young people 11 to 18 years old, people with complex needs not being looked after by statutory services, reducing waiting lists for clinical services, and then recruitment challenges and competition between employers within VCFSC organizations because of the short-term nature of grant funding and the services that VCFSC are able to offer their clients. Next slide, please. So there's a lot there, and I can send through a copy of the report that Spring North put together of all the lot 1, 2, and 3 projects. So this year, we've continued engaging with both sectors, and we've we delivered at the end of last year in Burnley, in Briarfield and Chorley, information and networking events, bringing together clinical mental health services and VCFSC organizations to find out better what each other deliver for their clients and for their patients. Just yesterday and on Monday, we had themed virtual events, and Spring North delivered a presentation for us yesterday, which was all around funding, some tips, some things to avoid. And I do have some information I can send to this group, some information about that Jason Thompson put together for us, which is really, really useful. Next month, we're going to be having a speaker on staff training, BCFSC staff training in increasing awareness of mental health, and just signposting to other opportunities. I think we're actually going to have someone from Lancashire Mind speaking about what training services we have, but there'll be other organizations able to be able to tell you what their offer is as well. So that's specifically for training for VCFSC staff for that one. Next slide, please. Okay, so in terms of the funding for this project finishes at the end of March. So in addition to the second set of virtual events that we're going to have next month, we're also putting a call out to VCFSC organizations to share with us their experience of working with people in whatever capacity it may be, as volunteers, as staff who have lived experience of ailment mental health. We're putting together a best practice guide, developing the insights that we get from both VCFSC and clinical services. So we're going to be putting a call out soon to ask for organizations to get involved with that. And then throughout the whole 2 years of this project, we've been going through this mapping process, and we put together a document. It's a spreadsheet really, which we've shared with the Integrated Care Board, and this will enable them to then engage with the clinical staff and to say, well, actually, all of these organizations are active in the area, and this is something that your staff can refer people to. And then what we've also been doing, which is more of a bespoke service, is where there's been a request either by a clinical service or a VCFSC organization, we've made a one-to-one service link up between the two sectors, but that's just been upon a request basis. So, and I think that's just about it. Next slide, please. Yeah, that's it. So I know that's a lot of information to throw at you first thing in the morning. I'll send a copy of this out. Or I think I've got this copy now with the CVS, but I can also send the information that Jason Thompson from Spring North has sent through. And that's it. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. Oh, hang on, copy the PowerPoint. Let me just go into the chat here.
Thank you, Samantha. That was very informative, and
whistle stop.
Yeah. And I'm sorry in terms of the time restriction, but it was very informative. Everybody does have everybody's contact details, I think, on the list. So if you feel that any of your organisation will benefit with connecting up with Samantha, please do, because that's what this network's about. So has anybody got any questions for Samantha? No? Samantha, you got off lightly there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. But Samantha, if you can circulate any information to Lorna or via Michelle, and any information to Burnley Linked, they will send it out to all the members.
Thank you. And I'll put my email address in case anyone wants to contact me as well, but I will do. Thank you. Thanks. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much. And now I'd like to invite Nazma to present and talk about the work that you're doing from Inclusive North, please.
Hi guys. So I'm from Inclusive North. I work with Mo at Blackmore Darwin Healthy Living. So we are currently, I think we spoke last meeting about it as well, but I just want to kind of bring more attention to it now. So we're working on a project called Peer Action Collective, looking at young people who from local areas, East Lancashire, East Lancashire, Blackburn, Darwen, and Central Lancashire. But we are looking at those who are experiencing, witnessing violence, who are young people that are linked with violence. And our theme is presence in schools. What can schools do with regards to that, with regards to challenging behaviour, exclusions, detentions, that kind of space. So we are running some research focus groups with young people to get their thoughts on how things are done, what can be done better, what are the key themes that are coming out of being at school. So we do have a video actually, Mo, that I will play. Mo will speak a bit more about that as well. But I think the biggest thing, I'm going to keep it short because I'm sure Mo's going to discuss it more. But our ask right now is we are trying to get into schools and we're having a bit of, I don't know, we're having a few obstacles. Challenges getting in. And I understand that schools are very busy and they've got a lot on. But in order for us to kind of trial out some of the social action that's come out of the research, we do need to get into schools and get some schools on board, or even a school right now to be on board for us to trial out some of the ideas that the young people have on how we could look at different ways of running a detention space, reflective space, that kind of thing. Mo?
Yeah, we've recruited a number of young people aged between 16 to 21, and they're employees now of Inclusive North. They've been trained in how to do peer-led consultations and around social action. We've also, they've done some research in the first phase, and some of the key findings that came out was that there was not enough mental health support for young people within school setting. There was, and this is this isn't a general kind of overview. We targeted young people who are affected by violence or have been who aren't doing well in school, who are facing challenges in their home life. So it's a very specific targeted young people that we've carried the research out with. They've also said that the trust between teachers and students is not good, and they've also kind of said about youth voices is almost like a tick box, so it doesn't really it doesn't have the impact that it should have. So we've developed some social action ideas with some other young people that we've recruited in Burnley, Nelson, Accrington way, also in Blackburn and Darwen, also in Preston, Leyland, and Kirkham. So we've kind of developed 3 different kind of resources, and what we want to do is go and test those resources in the schools, but also go in and talk about our second research, which we're just about ready to go out with, which is focusing a lot on mental health and support for young people. So that's kind of a bit of a snapshot of what we're doing. And we are trying to get into the schools, but it's not something that we're putting more pressure on the schools. We would take our young people and go and facilitate that. So it's not something that we're asking the teachers and the staff to go and run with. We would come in and we'd facilitate a number of sessions for that. The business model for them is that schools have when it comes to Ofsted, there's an element of that where you have to have youth voice. So this ticks a lot of boxes for them as well. So we want to try and kind of support them, and every school has a number of young people that they cannot engage with, and what we're trying to do is we're saying, let our young people, supported by us, come into the schools and we can help engage with those young people. And even if you get a couple on board, then it's at least that's a start. That's my back to you.
I don't know if I can share, but we do have a quick animation of our findings. I don't think it's too long. Am I right to share screen?
We presented this at a dissemination event in October where we had MPs, mayors, we had the Burnley mayor, we had the Blackburn MP, we had councillors, education, police, health services down, and we were trying to showcase the work that we've done in the first phase. So it gives you a bit of a background.
Yeah, I don't think I've got sharing.
Can you ping it over to me via email, Nazma?
I will try. I think yeah, I'll try. It's just a video, so it's a bit heavy. So I don't know. I think we have to go through that WeTransfer thing.
Okay, I see. But nonetheless, if you do send it to us, we'll get it out with the minutes in a
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll try and send it across so it can be shared. But yeah, so I think that's all we're needing right now, an introduction or just kind of getting our foot into the schools. That would be really good. Yeah, any questions, guys?
Nazma, I was just going to say, with regards to the video, I don't know if you want to talk it through now and just give people a flavour of what it's about, so that when it comes out, that when people are watching it, they can look out for key things. If that'd help.
The actual
Yeah, so the video is more to do with how we've carried out the first research, some of the key findings, and some of the stories that the young people have expressed. It's a very shortened version. We've got a longer version which we're working towards, but this one is just gives a little bit of a snapshot of some of the stories that we've gathered over that first phase, if that makes sense. It is quite self-explanatory when you watch it.
Okay, thank you. Angie's got a hand up. If you've got a question for Nazma and Mo.
It's not a question, it's just in terms of getting into schools. We deliver NHS health checks on behalf of Lancashire County Council in the community, and we deliver health checks in schools for the teaching staff. We got access to that via Lancashire County Council, who are able to post on it's like a schools portal. So they posted our information in relation to what we do around delivery of health checks, and following that, a number of schools then contacted us to go and deliver there. So I just wondered whether or not it's worth you contacting LCC, who may be able to help in terms of access. I can give you the contacts if that helps.
Can I just say that I've suggested in the chat that you contact Alan Garner. He is
yeah, we already have done. We had a meeting with him last week, and I've spoken to him several times about that. It is on the radar. It's just trying to encourage schools to try and just like that, or just open the door a little bit for us to come in and just really showcase what we want to do, really, and the benefits of that. But thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Kate. I think it was Alan Garner. Was it Dan Brown? We met last week, so
they're
the people who'll be able to get you into the portal as well. If you ask him, send him a little sales pitch and ask him. He might not have thought of that, but I would say he's definitely been the best person to get access to schools for any work that I've been doing.
Thank you. Thanks, Kate.
Okay. Anybody else? Michelle, you've got your hand up. Is that for a question or technical?
No, it is a question actually. Nazma, Mo, if you've got any sort of the video particularly, or any other publications that we might be able to put out on our website for you through our media, but also I can speak to our group support department and see if they've got any contacts within the schools as well. So if you'd just like to send me an email, or I can contact you after this meeting.
Yeah. Just I don't know whether Nazma mentioned it. This is actually part of a national research program being funded by the Youth Endowment Fund, by Co-op, by #IWill, community funding there as well. So it's a national one. There's so many different areas that are focusing on it. There's 3 different areas. There's presence in schools, what we're doing, London, and I think North East are doing. There's trusted adults, and there's also positive activities. And it's trying to understand, if you don't have access to those 3 elements, are you going to be more likely to be affected by violence or not do well in school? So it's all around that. And we had a kind of really positive meeting yesterday. And there's so many different resources that are being developed throughout the country. So they're going to be pulling all that together. I think the Youth Endowment Fund are going to be putting that together and then making that available to different schools and organisations as well.
The plan is that hopefully we can make some changes on a national level, the government level, with policies and procedures and rules around schools. So it's a massive thing, and we're looking at mental health as well, because I don't think that's huge right now, and how young people are affected in schools by different behaviours and stuff. So it would be good to kind of see what changes we can actually make by the end of the project.
We've been invited to present in Parliament with London as well, so that's exciting as well. So yeah, watch this space really.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Good luck with your endeavour, and obviously Kate's already mentioned a couple of contact details for you. I mean, I'm a district authority, so I don't know anything around education, and I wouldn't even profess to know, but Angie's been very helpful with the contact details as well. So thank you, everyone. Anybody, any final questions before we say thank you to Nazma and Mo officially? Right, okay.
Can I just ask? I'm interested to know what else you do. What, as an organisation, what is Inclusive North? It's not an organisation that I know about.
So we work with, we're an infrastructure organisation, so we don't do direct service delivery as such, but we work with community groups and local organisations to provide services. So we would get like bigger tenders in, and then we send out expressions of interest to community groups and local charities, smaller charities. The current work we're doing at the moment is something called, we've got a few projects ongoing, I think that's available on our website, but ultimately it's looking at marginalised communities, what their needs are. So we're constantly looking at different areas, looking at how we can help develop them. Mainly right now, our focus is capacity building smaller organisations, those that work with marginalised communities. That's our focus at the moment. We're giving out some funding. I think the deadline's just passed, but we do give out funding to organisations to carry out the work. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually work for Inclusive North. We partner with Inclusive North. I work for a charity called Blackburn with Darwin Healthy Living. So we kind of focus around working at the grassroots level with empowering and like upscaling communities, but and also for them to take ownership of their health and well-being. So we do a lot of citizens juries, where you have a specific topic and you get local people to come in and make a decision on how services should be delivered within the areas. I do a lot of training around peer-led support. So I've been doing that for about 15 to 20 years. So we kind of work quite closely with different communities. And it's that training element, that's the reason why we came on board with Inclusive North, because I deliver all the training across that wide space, if that helps.
Thank you, that's really helpful. Would you mind sharing your contact details? Because I'd like to follow up with both of you, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Thank you.
Right, thank you, everyone. Thanks for your presentation, Samantha, Mo, and Nazma. We'll move on to the next part of the agenda, which is the Burnley Health and Wellbeing Partnership update. Michelle, is there something around Adult Social Care Transformation Fund? Do you know who's giving that update? And no, does anybody on this meeting today know anything about the Adult Social Care Transformation Fund? No? Anybody want to make it up? Okay. Is there any feedback, Michelle, or does anybody want to feed anything into the Health and Wellbeing Partnership? Some key issues that you're coming across in your service delivery that you feel that we can take back to the Health and Wellbeing Partnership, and anything that you come across that you feel maybe there's something that we can flag up at a higher level?
I mean, I know Tracy obviously always mentions that we struggle for sort of rubber stamping, funding, that kind of stuff, in terms of receiving that on an annual basis. So I know that we struggle. That means that the groups that we support struggle. Yeah, that's probably.
Okay. So any emerging key health priorities are seen by members of Burnley Linked? We've talked about mental health today. We've talked about access. And do you know, one of the key things for me is always this joined up approach where being here and not only just being in Burnley Linked, but in the work that we do, networking with people and that partnership stuff is always very important for me. So if anybody's got anything you feel, David, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, apologies. I keep getting interrupted, so hopefully I've dealt with it. But yeah, I'm David Rogers. I'm Head of Communication and Engagement at Lancashire and South Cumbria Integrated Care Board. I have a small team of people who would love to work with any of you, to kind of understand what the health needs and the health issues for people of Burnley are. We've done a couple of kind of listening events in Burnley, and we've been out and about. I went to the Burnley West's PCN's health awareness event and interviewed a couple of patients. But I'm just putting it out there that I'm happy with team. Rashta Iqbal in my team is normally joining us, but she's not here today. We're very happy to kind of work with you. And if there's anything you feel that we can do to ensure that the Integrated Care Board hears the voice of people of Burnley, really happy to help. So thank you.
Thank you, David. Anybody got anything to say on that point? Okay. Well, then now's the opportunity. The floor is everyone's here. If everybody wants to give an update, talk a little bit about the work that they're doing, I don't know. We'll maybe spend about 10 minutes on that. So does anybody want to start? See, Tracy makes everybody talk for some reason, you know. Kay Isherwood. Sorry,
my name's Kim Isherwood. I work at Calico on Skills and Enterprise. I'm sorry, my camera's not working because I'm in remote desktop. So one of the programs that I'm currently managing that we've just launched is called Work Well. And Work Well is working very closely with primary care and clinicians to support people with low-level medical needs to either stay in work because they're off sick, stay in work because they're at risk of going off sick, or because they've become recently unemployed and health is a barrier to them getting back to work. So it's just really I know Lorna's very kindly sent out some information in our leaflet, and I think I might come on and do a bit more, give you a bit more information, a bit more detail next time, but it was just to kind of get Work Well on people's radar, really. That's our new project at the moment.
Thank you, Kim. That's really helpful because you've taken a little bit from me, which is fantastic. So I don't have to talk about it. Now, I can't remember if Freya had a hand up first or Jodie. So can we go with Freya? Thank you, Jodie. Freya, over to you.
Hello. So I just wanted to flag the Burnley Health Mela that's coming up. And at the minute, we've got applications open for people who'd like to have stalls. So that's why I'm mentioning it to you guys in case you would like to have a stall at the Health Mela. So it's anything to do with health, so it could include things around like mental health and well-being. It doesn't just have to be physical health checks, but it all has to be linked to health and well-being. So I'm not organising it, but I'm gonna, with their permission, put the email addresses of the people who are, and I'm gonna try to share the documents in the chat. I think that I can. So that should have like the full details of how you'd get involved and what you'd need to do.
That's great, Freya. If not, just send it directly to Lorna, Michelle, and then we can get it circulated if it doesn't work in the chat. Thank you. That's very helpful.
Can I just ask, sorry, I don't know how to put my hand up. I can't see a hand up button. So apologies for keep just butting in. I'm just interested to know, who exactly is this audience for the health mailer at the university? Is it university students? Is it anybody? How does it work?
It's the general public. So we've run it like quite a long time now, I think. And this year, I think we're just trying to basically make it a bit bigger, a bit more like a community event than just come and get a health check. You know, because in the past it's been a lot of stalls that, you know, to get your blood pressure taken, you know, that kind of thing, rather than a few more bits for community.
Okay. Does that answer your question, Kate?
It does. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Jodie, over to you.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
So my name's Jodie. I work with CGL in Burnley Inspire. I'm a newbie, so I'm just still trying to find my feet at the minute. And I know today's audience, we're talking a lot about the younger people, the children and that generation, which I am trying to open up the service to with the ketamine pandemic at the minute with younger people, and trying to find some support groups to accommodate people that are struggling with that addiction. We also do have quite a few groups running also in Burnley Inspire for people with addiction, people in recovery. We've got fishing for anybody who enjoys fishing. No, I don't. We have like women's only coffee mornings. I'm also trying to integrate, we're speaking on mental health this morning, into people suffering with addiction as well, because a lot of people I've spoken to, they do suffer with mental health and they don't know where to turn to, obviously with being in recovery and addiction. But yeah, we have lots of groups running in order to support people. So if anybody wants any information, just let me know and I can send you over some flyers and stuff. I don't know how Teams works. I'm new to this, so I would just put it all in the chat. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. Just introduce myself.
Brilliant, Jodie. Thank you so much for introducing yourself. And so the next person I had up was, well, people keep swapping and changing. Stop, my head's spinning with this. I've still got Rachel's hand. Well, I had David, your hand was up, and then it was Rachel, and then you've dropped your hand. Now it's over to, have you got something to say, David, or?
I don't know if Rachel, the guys in Christine's office or Ange are ahead of me. I don't want to butt in.
No, I was following it. I was.
Oh, great!
It was your hand next, David.
Oh.
It doesn't tell you like Teams who does it 1, 2, or 3. No.
We're definitely our ability to be flexible and adaptable is definitely being tested, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm particularly. All I really wanted to say is offering an open hand and an ear to anyone on this call or networks or groups that you have in Burnley. I've got an agenda, which is the ICB, the Integrated Care Board, is kind of, I think, quite a distant entity. It kind of is based in Preston. They are meeting today as a board, but I've got this hidden agenda to bring the voices of real people in communities to the board and make them understand what's going on. I know I said this in previous meetings at the Chai Centre last time, but we have a couple of programs of work where I want really keen to work with any of you. The first one is just if you think that the voice of people you represent or groups that you know of. So I've got learning disabilities, I've got addiction, people with suffering from addiction, I've got people from minority ethnic communities. Their voice is very often not heard, very seldom heard. I think that's the fault of the NHS. I don't think that's the fault of anyone else. It's institutionally structured to not really listen. And me and team are trying to break that barrier down. So I'll be very quick, but essentially, if you want to, I'll put my email in the chat, but if you want to contact me and say, look, I think the people that I represent or the networks that I'm aware of, I'm hearing a lot about the NHS that could be improved. I'm happy to, with team, come and join a group of people to do a focus group or to do interviews and make sure the NHS can hear that. The other thing we are doing, which is very successful, is the board and the System Quality Committee have requested me and team to help them over the last year to do what are called lived experience stories. And the idea behind that is they sit in a committee and they have a particular focus, but they don't often understand the real, I suppose the word is lived experience. I mean, I know it's, for those of you who are grammar Nazis like me, lived experience is a tautology, isn't it? Because all experience is lived, but the stories that people have can bring a kind of, can bring alive the data. And if the data's saying something, actually hearing someone's story can be very powerful for people in meetings. We can video, we can interview, we can do audios, or we can have a written script. So that, I'll shut up now. I don't want to take anyone's time. But I'll put some stuff in the chat, and then if you want to get in touch, it's an open arms sort of offer, really. Thank you.
Brilliant. David, that's a great offer. Thank you very much. Next on my list is Rachel. Then I had Christine, Ange, and then Freya. Freya's put a hand down. So if we go to Rachel, and I'm trying to keep on top of this. So if I can't see anybody on the screen, forgive me, butt in. But Rachel, over to you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. So I wanted just to say hello. This is my first meeting. So really just start to connect with you guys. I'm the chair of the East Lancs Down Syndrome Support Group. So we cover obviously Burnley, but right across East Lancs and beyond, actually, because there isn't a lot of support beyond East Lancs. And our ultimate ambition is to cover the whole of Lancashire, because it's very much needed. David, I will definitely take you up on your offer. We'd love to talk to you. Plenty of opportunities for improvement, shall we say, around right at the beginning of the journey. So we support right from pre-birth through to adulthood. All sorts of different challenges with that, through obviously health, education, social, and our purpose, we currently support about 100 families. Our purpose is very much supporting what they need. So social is a big ask, both from peer support for parents, for siblings, and for the individuals themselves. And just to have fun, because that is often a challenge for some of our members, just to have a safe space to go and be themselves and have the same opportunities as everybody else. But we do support through education as well. So we go into schools and support mainstream success, and we what else do we do? We have some short breaks, try and get them away, try and have fun, and obviously support the challenges that some of our parents have, particularly around diagnosis and at the beginning of their experience. Generally, they come to the group, they see that the future looks really positive. We've got some crazy kids running around having a great time, and that really sort of improves their outlook, if you like. We're looking to set up a regular event in Burnley. Currently, we run out of Rossendale, but a lot of people travel to us, which again shows that we need that support. But really, just a quick plea at this point: if you know anybody that isn't using our services and would like to, it's all pretty much all free. We just do it via fundraising. Nobody's paid. Please do get in touch. I'll put my details in the link. But thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Thank you, Rachel. That was a whistle-stop tour there, wasn't it? Put my teeth back in. Thank you very much. That was really good. Next on my list now, it was you, Michelle, pretending to be Christine.
I am pretending to be Christine. So hi, if I haven't met you before, I'm Michelle Walker. I'm the Volunteer Hub Coordinator for BPRCVS. My lovely assistant, Janet, who is new. So Janet is the project support and admin. So the hub itself has been going for 2 years, but as most of you know, it's all around volunteering. So a couple of asks I've got for Burnley Linked is obviously Volunteers Week is approaching, and I'd love to get together a bit of a steering group so that we can coordinate what happens over Volunteers Week. So if you're interested in being involved in that, please drop me an email. We are also holding our forums again. So our next one will be the 13th of February, which is being held in Rosendale. Invites have been sent out, but it's 11 till 1 and at Rosendale Chambers. So please feel free to come along. We have lots of other exciting things that are going on. So we're doing lots of different events, hopefully linked to us as BPRCVS turning 90 this year. So with my BPRCVS hat on, yeah, we're turning 90. We're doing a year's worth of celebrations from stuff like time capsules to random acts of kindness and things like that. So please keep an eye on your emails and our info share and website for more details about that. Obviously, as BPRCVS, we support small groups, big groups, local organisations around volunteering and community support. We've got our group support and funding department who are always available if you need any support around that. They can give advice around funding and stuff like that as well. And we do loads. So basically, we're ask us. If we don't know, we'll find someone who definitely does. And that's my whistle stop tour. I'll shut up now.
Thanks, Michelle. Okay, Ange, over to you.
Thanks, Naveed. I'm from FCMS. We carry out NHS health checks in the community, as I mentioned earlier, so right across Lancashire. And the NHS health check is a cardiovascular disease prevention programme aimed at people between the ages of 40 and 74. It consists of a full check, which is blood pressure, pulse measurement, height, waist, BMI check, cholesterol test, diabetes check, series of questions around lifestyle and medical history. And from that, we'll then calculate your Q risk score, which is the chances of you having cardiovascular disease within the next 10 years. We share results with GP practices, and we give all patients a little healthcare booklet which records all of their readings and gives lifestyle advice. We also signpost to onward services as well, so healthy weight management, drugs, alcohol, smoking cessation, and actually I met with the Workwell guys, so Sam and Lindsay last week, around the potential for us to also signpost into the Workwell programme moving forward as well, which is great. So we've had loads of activity in Burnley. We've had a really busy January in terms of health checks. Obviously, everybody's getting back on it following Christmas. So we've been to Burnley Football Club. We've had 2 clinics there. We're at the church on the street today until 3 o'clock this afternoon. We've done several employers, ESP Play. We attended the health and wellbeing event at Calico, and we've been to Burnley Police Station. We've got so many bookings in terms of health checks for the next few months. Our diary is pretty much booked up for February now and well into March. We've already got 4 bookings in Burnley for March, so we will be posting those on social media to advertise for people to book into. But obviously I do this monthly pitch to sort of try and get people to book us into local community events, any venues. We're particularly interested in working in the local community to target hard to reach, tackle health inequalities, and also minority and ethnic communities. So if you do want to get in touch, then please give me a shout. I'll also send details of a testimonial video that we did with, we've done quite a lot of work with Booths supermarkets over the last couple of months. And they've kindly let us video on site and given us some feedback around the service we provide. And it gives you really good insight in terms of the checks that we carry out. So I'll share that too. And I'll shut up because I've taken up lots of time.
No, Angie, that's been absolutely brilliant. Thank you. That's been very useful. Jodie, well done. You've posted your winter programme on the chat.
Sorry, Naveed, I'm really sorry. I don't know how to put my hand up.
Wave at me. Tammy, I can see you.
Wave.
Your hand's up now. Wait, I'll put you on my list. You go
Oh,
next,
please. Oh, right. Thank you. I'm really sorry. I'm like, how do I put my hand up? Yes, I've got some great courses to share with you. Just putting the final details together, but we've got 2 great courses. The first one is a digital skills training. That's going to be a 2-day course with lunches. We're going to have 4 dates running for that. That's going to be March time. It's going to be both courses are 16 plus for anyone economically inactive, but we'll also have 1 or 2 spaces available if you think there might be someone who might benefit from the courses. The digital skills, they'll learn to set up an email, create a CV, use social media, Zoom. I said I might need to go on that bit to work out my Zoom. And search engines, the internet, staying safe online. And on the completion of that, they'll have a free tablet. So they'll be able to continue learning and they'll be able to use all the skills that they've learned on that course. So that's going to be fantastic. The next one is a budget skills training. Again, that's going to be 2 days with the lunch. We're going to have 4 dates available over February. There'll be a £25 gift voucher for that one. And they'll be looking at understanding the money, ways to pay, understanding spending, your financial IQ. Again, I said I think I might need to go on that little bit. So once we've got the leaflets, I'll bob them over to Lorna so she can share with anyone. But as I said, if you can think of anyone who you might think may benefit, get in touch with us and we can contact them. We've got some great news, some really exciting news. If anyone has visited our website, probably have seen that it needed a little makeover. So it's having a fantastic makeover. So we're going to launch the new website next week along with our social media. So keep your eyes peeled on that. But again, I'll send out the links. It's looking really good. We've had sneaky peeks at it and it's going to be fantastic. And our next amazing news we wanted to share with you is New Era. We've been awarded 4 years national lottery funding. So we're like so excited. And this is to provide mental health support to children and young people in and around Burnley. But we'll definitely be giving out some more information to everyone about that. But yeah, we're starting 2025 and it's looking fantastic. So we're really pleased, but we'll definitely send everything out to you. Oh, I can't hear you now.
Sorry, everyone. I was on. Tammy, I was going to say thank you very much. I'm so excited for you and congratulations. And I'm sure there's people on this group now that can probably link in with you around the work that you want to do with mental health with young people. So thank you. I can't see anybody else's hands up. I mean, I'm happy now just to give a quick update. Hello, yes, whose hands?
Sorry, sweetie, it's me. We've got, I think it's Rowan, who has put some stuff in. I don't know.
In the chat.
Yeah.
Right, Rowan. Did you want to say something, Rowan? Oh, right, Rowan, you.
Hiya. Yeah, if possible. Yeah. Just
please.
to back up what I've said in the chat in case nobody's seen it. We've just recently launched a new cancer prehab session over at the Leisure Box facility in Briarfield to Tuesday 11 till 1. If anybody knows anybody who might benefit from that, please feel free to signpost. You can find more details on our website. And also just an appeal really. So I'm doing it's World Cancer Day next week. I'm doing a workplace information stand. And I'm just looking to find any interactive resources that anybody might have that could help me bring that to life a little bit, rather than it just being a lot of written information. So I'd appreciate if anybody can point me in the right direction of where I might be able to access that kind of stuff. That would be great.
Specifically around cancer or support services?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just.
David said yes.
Okay, great. I look forward to hearing from you, David.
Am I right, David, or am I just speaking on your behalf?
You did. Your telepathy worked really well there. I mean, I just, the NHS is obsessed with winter, you know, and we got lots of information and resources around choosing well for winter, and we always think making every contact count is a good idea to share that, but that probably wouldn't be appropriate, Rowan, would it? I don't think, for this.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be quite specifically
Thanks.
celebration, to mark World Cancer Day. So anything more linked to that would be more appreciated if possible.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. And Rowan's put his contact details in the chat, so if anybody needs that, and is that something we can circulate as well? Michelle, be able to pick from the notes and just maybe get the message out. And Rowan, if there's something specifically you're looking for, maybe send a message into Lorna. If you've got ideas of what you're after, like David's already alluded to, some of the things might not fit with what you want.
Yeah. To be honest, it was I was at an event last week where they had a really good table of interactive things that you could, you know, pick up and feel, and it kind of, you know, what you might expect if you find a lump and all things like that. That I just thought it'd be useful to have to spark some conversation. So just things like that, really. I just thought I'd put an appeal out there and see if anybody can point me in the right direction. I'm guessing it's the kind of thing that public health colleagues might have. So if anybody can point me into anybody they might know, that'd be very much appreciated.
Rowan, I've just put a link to Alison Moore, who is the Northwest Cancer. I don't know what the R stands for, but she's head of research. She's really interested. She'd be up for coming and working with you if you're doing some work around cancer. So I'd definitely get in touch with her.
Brilliant. That's great. Thank you.
No worries.
Just a quick one from me. Sorry, it's Jodie from Advocacy Focus.
Hiya, Jodie.
Hello. Sorry, my camera's not working today. You can't see me smiling face, Naveed. Rowan, I do a podcast as part of Advocacy Focus and reaching out to the wider communities. Last month, we had a fantastic health coach come on who specifically does coaching surrounding cancer and the cancer journey. Do you want me to send her details across to you?
Yeah, that'd be great if you don't mind. Thank you.
Will do. She's fantastic. She works across all of Lancashire, but mainly surrounding East Lanc. She's really, really good. Yeah, really confident speaker, and yeah, good lady to be in touch with. That's all from me.
Thank you. Sorry not to see your smiley face,
I know,
Jodie.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm just conscious it's 11:03, everyone, and we said we'd finish by 11. Unless anybody's got something pressing, I was just going to give a quick update. People have talked about work well, keep well in winter, and we've got a clean-up campaign that they're running with Burnley College. So if you've got anybody, friends, family, anybody at Burnley College, please ask them to get involved in the campaign. And yeah, that's it from me. But has anybody got any last burning points that they want to make before we go? No? Well, the next meeting is the 27th of February. Lorna's very organised with regards to sending out appointments and the CVS team. Yeah, so if there's anything and we've not discussed it here, please email in to CVS, Burnley Linked. I know they do a great job in promoting all the work that's going on, trying to hook people up together. Yeah, and good luck with everybody with what all you're working on, all the good work that you're doing. So thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.